I never thought a Monday evening would feel like the end of my world, but that's exactly what happened. My name is Elliot. I'm 37, and I've been married to Marianne for 10 years. We were never the loud couple at parties, the ones always making everyone laugh or trying to show off. Our love was quieter, steady, dependable, and I thought that's what made it real. I wasn't perfect, far from it, but I did my part. I worked long hours as a logistics manager, kept our home in order, made sure bills were paid, and never took our life together for granted. Marianne had always been ambitious. From the moment I met her, she had fire in her eyes and ideas that could overwhelm anyone who wasn't used to someone moving so fast. I admired it. She'd been offered a promotion recently, one that required late nights and closer contact with her new manager, Gideon, a man in his early 40s, slick, confident, and intimidating in ways I hadn't prepared for. Everyone warned me, jokingly at first, about bosses crossing boundaries, but I laughed it off. Not in my marriage, I thought. Not with Marianne. It started small. She'd come home a little later than usual, tired, distracted, occasionally checking her phone with a guarded expression. I didn't push. I never pushed. I'd greet her with a smile, ask about her day, and she'd nod or give a quick half smile, too drained to talk. I told myself it was just the new role, the pressure, the transition. I reminded myself that love doesn't need fireworks every night. It survives the mundane, the ordinary, the exhausting. Then came Thursday. She had stayed late for a meeting with Gideon. I knew he was at his office. He had a reputation for being charming but relentless. I didn't think much of it until she walked in the door, looking unsettled, hair slightly mussed, and her usual confident energy replaced by hesitation. I tried to joke, lighten the mood, but she barely smiled. "Elliot," she said, her voice tense. "Gideon, he—" Before she could finish, I knew something was wrong. Something visceral, immediate. I had felt it before in passing, like a flicker in my chest that you ignore until it grows. The next day, I stayed late at work to avoid the tension at home, but my phone buzzed constantly. I ignored it at first, until one text froze me completely. "Elliot, we need to talk. Alone. Tonight. It's about Gideon. Don't bring anyone else." Her words hit me like a punch. Alone. Gideon. What could this possibly mean? I tried to rationalize, to tell myself it was a misunderstanding, maybe a complaint about workplace behavior. But there was an undertone in Marianne's messages I couldn't shake. That evening, I returned home to find the front door slightly ajar. My heart raced. I called out, "Marianne." No answer. I stepped inside cautiously. The living room was empty, but a note was folded on the coffee table. I unfolded it slowly, every muscle in my body tightening with dread. "Elliot, I didn't want you to find out this way, but I can't hide it anymore. Gideon crossed a line today. I didn't stop him fast enough. He told me I'm his now. I'm so sorry. Please understand." The words blurred. I read them twice, 3 times, hoping my mind had tricked me. But no, this was real. I called Marianne immediately. No answer. I called again. Still nothing. Finally, I got a hold of her voicemail. Her voice sounded hollow, distant, almost defeated. "Elliot, I don't know what to say. Please don't come here. I need space." I did what I never thought I would. I drove to the office, to Gideon's office. His nameplate gleamed on the glass door, and I walked in without knocking. The receptionist looked alarmed but didn't stop me. And there he was, tall, commanding, wearing that smug expression I had seen in photos online. "Can I help you?" he said smoothly, as if he'd been expecting me. I didn't say a word at first. I just looked at him, and he smiled knowingly, as if he already owned the scenario. "Elliot," he began, almost casually, "I was wondering when you'd show up. Look, Marianne's mine now. You can leave quietly, or you can face the consequences. Your choice." Time froze. I felt a surge of fury, shame, helplessness, but most of all clarity. This wasn't about anger anymore. It was about dignity. I turned slowly, leaving him with that smug smile, and walked back to my car. My hands trembled, not from fear, but from the realization that I had done everything I could in a life I thought was shared, and still, someone else had crossed the line. That night, I drove aimlessly, unable to sleep, replaying every moment in my mind. I remembered the small things Marianne used to do, the way she laughed at my jokes, the way she leaned into me on cold mornings, the way she whispered encouragement when I doubted myself. And I realized none of it was gone because of me. It was gone because she had changed or because someone else had forced a change upon her. By morning, I made my decision. I went home, not to confront, not to beg, but to reclaim what remained of my own life. Marian wasn't there, and Gideon's threat echoed in my mind, but I was done standing still. I packed a bag with essentials, my laptop, my wallet, my keys. I left a simple note on the kitchen counter. I tried. I stayed. I hoped. But you chose differently. I'm leaving. Take care of yourself. No dramatics. No slamming doors. Just clarity. Just peace in action. Weeks passed. I didn't hear from Marian directly. Only indirect messages through friends who whispered apologies and excuses. Gideon continued to show up in the periphery of our social circles, but I ignored him. The calm, the silence, the space, it was all mine now. I focused on work, my friends, my own well-being. One afternoon, I ran into Tobias, an old friend from university. Over coffee, I told him everything, sparing nothing. He listened without judgment, nodding in ways that made me feel seen again. You did the right thing, he said quietly. Some battles aren't won with confrontation. Some are won by choosing yourself. He was right. Every day since has been a small reclaiming of my dignity, a reminder that love doesn't mean submission and loyalty doesn't mean enduring disrespect. Marianne's choice and Gideon's arrogance didn't define my worth. Months later, I walk past Gideon occasionally in town, and he no longer intimidates me. He is just a man, flawed and exposed, while I continue building a life where respect and clarity are my foundation. Marianne eventually contacted me briefly, apologetic, but I didn't respond. The past is past, and my focus is forward. I learned something crucial through all of this. Sometimes, the people we love can surprise us in ways we never imagined. Sometimes, the threats that loom largest are not physical but emotional, manipulative, invisible. And sometimes, the only way to survive is to leave, not with anger, not with drama, but with quiet, unwavering resolve. I am Elliot. I am 37. I am free. And the night that began with betrayal ended with a clarity I never thought I'd find. Some people, no matter how close, are never yours to hold. And sometimes, letting go is the most powerful thing a man can do.